To stay single is to confront the quiet spaces that many people run from their entire lives. Most will fill the silence with noise, another relationship, constant company, or endless distraction, because they are terrified of what they might find in the depths of their own mind. But solitude is not a prison, it is a mirror. It reflects back the parts of you that you have buried beneath busyness and the approval of others. When you remain single, you give yourself the rare gift of hearing your own voice without it being drowned out by the needs, opinions, and emotions of someone else. You begin to notice the subtle rhythms of your thoughts, the recurring patterns of your desires and fears. It is here that the unconscious rises like a deep ocean current, bringing to the surface the truth you've been avoiding. Jung understood that the journey within is not always comfortable. It will confront you with your shadow, the aspects of yourself you would rather deny. But by facing these parts in solitude, you strip them of their power. Loneliness becomes transformation. You stop seeking others to rescue you from yourself and start becoming your own anchor, your own safe place. And when you can sit in that quiet without restlessness, when you can look into the mirror of solitude without flinching, you realize something profound. You were never truly alone, you were meeting yourself for the first time. Before two souls can meet in true harmony, each must first stand as a complete and self-realized individual. Jung called this individuation, the lifelong process of integrating all the fragmented pieces of who you are into a unified whole. Many rush into relationships without taking this journey, hoping another person will somehow provide the missing parts of themselves. But this is not love, it is dependency disguised as romance. When you remain single, you are granted the space to explore your own depths without compromise. You can follow your curiosities without needing permission, face your weaknesses without fear of judgment, and cultivate strengths without the weight of comparison. You begin to see yourself not as half of a whole, but as a whole in your own right. This path is not easy. Individuation demands that you confront your shadow, the repressed fears, desires, and impulses that you've hidden from yourself. It asks you to integrate both your light and your darkness until you no longer see them as enemies but as essential parts of the same being. In doing so, you build an inner stability that no external circumstance can shake. Only when you have walked this road can you approach another person without the unconscious agenda of completing yourself through them. Instead, love becomes a meeting of equals, two individuals who choose to share their lives, not because they must, but because they wish to. Staying single until you've reached this point isn't loneliness. It's preparation for the kind of love that is rare, honest, and enduring. Staying single forces you to step fully into your own power. Without someone constantly beside you to lean on, you begin to discover resources within yourself that you never knew existed. You learn to make decisions without needing validation, to comfort yourself when life hurts, and to celebrate your wins without waiting for someone else to notice. In this way, self-reliance is not cold independence, it is the warmth of knowing you can stand firm no matter who walks in or out of your life. Jung understood the importance of a strong, well-developed ego, not in the sense of arrogance, but as a solid, conscious self that can navigate life's complexities. When you are single, you have the chance to build that inner structure. You become your own provider of stability, your own emotional anchor, your own source of encouragement. This inner foundation transforms how you show up in every area of life. Relationships built without self-reliance often slip into unhealthy patterns. Dependency, control, and the silent fear of losing the other because you don't yet know how to stand alone. But when you have mastered self-reliance, love is no longer about survival. You are not with someone because you need them to keep you afloat, you are with them because you choose to share the journey. That choice is far more powerful than need. And here lies the great paradox: when you no longer need anyone to complete you, you become the kind of person who attracts others naturally, not out of desperation, but out of the quiet confidence of a soul that knows it can thrive on its own. Desire is one of the most potent forces in the human psyche. In Jungian thought, libido is not merely sexual energy, it is the raw life force that fuels everything we create, from art to ideas, from relationships to revolutions. When you are single, you have the rare opportunity to redirect this energy inward, transforming it into something far greater than fleeting romance. Without the constant pull of trying to impress, chase, or maintain someone's affection, your energy becomes available for self-mastery. You can pour it into building a career that reflects your soul, cultivating skills that express your creativity, or pursuing passions that would otherwise be sacrificed for the sake of compromise. Your days are no longer shaped by the gravitational pull of another person's orbit, they are designed entirely around your own growth. This is not selfishness, it is the conscious cultivation of your inner world. Jung understood that the unconscious speaks through symbols, images, and impulses. When you follow the thread of your own creative drive, you begin to pull these hidden treasures into the light. You give form to the dreams that have been quietly waiting for your attention. The result is transformation. You stop pouring your energy into temporary distractions and instead invest it into building a life that feels like an authentic extension of who you are. And when you finally choose to share that life, it won't be out of emptiness, it will be from the abundance of someone who has already learned to create joy, meaning, and beauty from within. Staying single is not about closing your heart, it is about refusing to settle for a connection that does not match the depth of your own soul. Jung spoke of the anima and animus, the inner feminine and masculine energies within each of us. Until we have met and integrated these parts of ourselves, we will unconsciously seek them in others, mistaking projection for love. This is why so many relationships begin in passion and end in disappointment. We were never truly seeing the other person, only our own unmet self reflected back. When you choose to wait, you are doing something radical in a world that glorifies instant gratification. You are saying, I would rather walk alone than walk in the wrong direction. You are giving yourself the time to become whole, so that when you meet another, it is not to fill a void, but to share an overflowing cup. The soul's equal is not a perfect person, but they will be someone who has faced their own shadows as you have faced yours, who has walked through their own inner storms and emerged with wisdom. With them, love will feel less like a rescue and more like recognition, as if you've met before, not in this life, but in the unspoken language of the psyche. To meet such a person requires patience and discernment. Many will cross your path offering comfort, distraction, or excitement, but only one will stand before you as a mirror to your most authentic self. Until that day comes, your solitude is not a void. It is the sacred ground where you prepare to meet a love worthy of the person you have become.